Welcome to the Career Coach channel, where we help men become the best version of themselves. Today we're going to be covering a video from Reva TV on how a woman actually broke up with a perfect guy because she thought his car was too old. Link to the full video will be left in the description box below. Please like and subscribe. Let's dive into this.
You know what? I see why the fellas is mad at us. We used to do better. So I was talking to one of my homegirls not too long ago, and she tells me she's met the perfect guy, right? She's like, he's great, he's handsome, great job, all of that, right? Oh, nobody's perfect, of course, but standard-wise, preference-wise, he met everything. So then later on, she tells me, and she's like, oh, I dubbed him. You know, he's just not right for me. And I'm like, well, what happened? Like, everything was good. Like, you were saying, like, this could have been future hubby. Like, you was damn near on the right track for everything. Like, he was just matching up. You know what this woman tells me? She says, his car is old. And I say, okay, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Yes, I found this video also quite puzzling. What exactly do you mean by too old? You're going to laugh when you hear this.
She's like, well, he's been in his career for 10 plus years. He should have a brand new car. He should have something from this year. Like, why don't you have a more expensive car?
Now, as a career coach, oh man, I wish I had more information about this man's career, what he does for a living, how long he's been at this particular job, what industry. Oh, there's so much there to unpack, but I wish I had more information. But ladies, you are in no position to dictate how a man moves in his career. No more than a man is to tell you what you can and cannot accomplish in your career. Mind your own damn business.
Sis, sounds like he doesn't have a car payment. Sounds like he doesn't have an extra $700-800 that he has to spend a month, or how much ever a car payment is. It sounds like he's saving up money. What's the problem? Does it work? Does it have an auxiliary cord? Does it have heat and air conditioning? That's all I really care about. Do the windows go up and down? Has it passed the inspection? That's really all that counts. But you're worried about it being an old car? Really? You're going to pass him up because his car is old? Just little shit like that explains why these men are sick of us. Because you can have a perfectly good guy with a good career. He takes care of himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that you could ask for, and it's just not enough. But it's women like me that will love on y'all. I just want to let you know that. Okay? We are out here. Stop paying attention to the materialistic women. That's the only thing I can say to you, men.
Now, the advice that this young woman gave on the right, I could almost guarantee that she's going to land a high value man, but she has a wonderful attitude and she is very attractive. So, without question, the combination of good attitude, common sense, and attractiveness, there's no way that she's not going to land a high value man or a Henry on his way up. But let's talk a little bit about cars and what materialistic women don't have a clue about wealthy people and how they spend their money. For all you ladies out there that are listening to the female coaches telling you, yeah, don't waste your time with these dusties driving these, standard cars. They don't know. They ain't got the groove on. They're dusty. Don't waste your time. They're nobodies. Let's check into some facts. Here's an article from Yahoo Finance about the top 10 cars that wealthy Americans drive. And it is absolutely not what you would expect. The average millionaire drives very, very modest cars. 61% of those who earn $250,000 or more are likely to drive Hondas, Ford, and Toyotas. How many times have you ladies looked at some guy that rolled out of his Honda, Ford, or Toyota and said, I ain't got time for this dusty guy? I can't tell you about how many times I've seen women scoff at men who are driving a Ford F-150 pickup truck. But guess what? The most popular car in America is for people earning over $200,000 a year. That's right, Ford F-150. You know those losers, those dusty guys like Mark Zuckerberg and Larry Page from Google and Jeff Bezos from Amazon, you know, all those dusty guys. They got so much dust on them from their billions of dollars. Yeah, those guys. Yeah, Toyota Priuses and Honda Accords, and Honda Fits. Yeah, Warren Buffett. He's got a few bucks. He drives a Cadillac. If you ever talk to a man and you ask him, oh, why aren't you driving a new car? And some words, some shape or form of words come out of his mouth. And he says, I don't put money into depreciating assets. This guy's got money. He knows how to manage his money and he knows where he's going with his money. Most of you don't have a clue about actually being around people who are wealthy. And for those of you out there that are like, George, you're a guy, man. You don't know anything about this. You know, let's listen to what Susie Orman's got to say. Your goal should be to buy the least expensive car, period. There you go. You got people like Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, and all kinds of financial counselors that will tell you. And you've got millionaires and billionaires that are saying, don't waste money on depreciating assets. So let's take a look at the top 10 list of cars that millionaires drive in America. Oh, crap. Well, what are you going to do now when you just blew off the dusty guy that drives a Toyota, Ford, or Honda? You might drive an old Lexus. Well, not an old Lexus, but a used Lexus or Subaru or BMW. It's probably going to be about 3 to 5 years old. Yeah, what are you going to do then? Because there are people who are planning to become rich, and too many young women, especially today, are eager to play rich. Like too many of these movie stars and hip hop artists and so many musicians that, yeah, they're living high in a hog. And then 5 years later, the IRS and creditors are taking everything away in boxes and they're out on the street.
Girl, shout out to you. Okay. Shout out to this woman for having the authentic conversation. And let me tell you something, guys. As much as I constantly have this conversation, please don't ever forget that there are women who are swinging at me from all angles because I am not telling them anything that makes them feel good if they are aligned with the type of things that I talk about in my videos. Okay, so let's just please be clear about that. There's a lot of women who give women slack about these conversations. They are big mad. Okay, they are out like extremely upset about these conversations. So when women come up and talk about it, it does take courage. Okay, regardless of the reason why, the this, the that, like it does take courage to open up your mouth and talk against the quote unquote sisterhood. Because they want to be stuck in their delusion. They want to have the quote unquote upper hand when it comes to men. They don't want men knowing their secrets. They don't want men knowing the avenues that they go to. They don't want men knowing the tricks and the schemes so that they can continue to misuse, mistreat, manipulate to get things done to their own advantage.
When I do coaching, for young men that are finally getting into that 5 to 10 year period in their careers when they're finally moving up the ladder. There's 2 books I recommend. I am not a financial advisor, but there's 2 books I recommend that every person should read, especially women, because women have no idea how rich men move and how to build wealth in America. It's just not taught in our schools. So you go on social media and you think, well, look at what's going on out there, and that's not reality. The first book is called The Millionaire Next Door. And the other book is Baby Steps Millionaires: How Ordinary People Build Extraordinarily Wealth and How You Can Do It Too by Dave Ramsey. One would be shocked on how easy it is to become a millionaire in this country if you do the work. There is no shortcut. There is no get rich quick scheme. Anybody who tells you, buy my program, you're going to be rich. No. Good coaching and a lot of work will get you there, but you have to do the work. Riva makes a great point here, and I want to share with you real life experiences that I've seen on how women manipulate men into buying new cars. So say, for example, you're driving a older car, say like an older Corvette, and she wants you to get the new hotness, new hot Corvette. She knows she's not going to be able to talk you into anything else because, you like Corvettes, but she don't want to see you with an old ratty one. Shit, it's 20 years old. So what she wants to do is convince you on how to get into a brand new CA Corvette. So how does she do that? Well, God forbid if you end up with some maintenance issues, because the first thing she's going to be saying, hon, you've had a lot of maintenance issues with this car. Maybe it's time to look into getting a new one. Have you taken a look at that new CA Corvette? They're really pretty. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you would look really good behind the wheel of one of those cars. Because you are a high value man. You deserve to have one of those cars. The other way she's going to try it, if you have a good experience with the mechanics of your car, is, hey, honey, that car, it's really pretty, but it's kind of feminine. You know, those new Corvettes, man, they're very masculine. A high value man, a man, my man should be driving a really masculine car. And she will play that game with you. And without you even realize you're being manipulated, you're out there at a Chevrolet dealership buying yourself a brand new CA Corvette, so she could be piling out of it, looking good when you guys go out, and you're broke. And instead of going on and paying your student loan or getting out of debt and getting ready for the next phase of your life, which is marriage, children, buying a home, you're in debt up to your ears, because there are women out there that want to play rich instead of trying to build wealth, generational wealth, with their man.
So that's first of all. I just want to give her that, okay? For sure. But this is the thing. A lot of these women talk to other women and they're expecting the woman that they're talking to be like, yeah, sis, that's crazy. Oh, he don't got this kind of car? What's wrong with him? Oh, nah, girl. Yeah, I would have dropped him too. Because that's what they're so used to.
One of the things I will tell you when talking to family, friends, and when you're selecting a coach, whether it's a life coach, career coach, if you're looking for somebody who's going to give you advice on marriage, talk to somebody who's been married for at least 5 to 10 years. I've been married 30 years. Might be able to give you some advice on how to find the right person, maintain a relationship, raise children. I've gone from military to blue collar to a Henry to a high value man. So don't take advice from people who ain't done it, where it's all theory. I won't tolerate this from some guy. My man's going to have a Mercedes, or he's going to have a Lamborghini. Okay, fine. I'm cool with that. Show me. Show me your man with the Lamborghini or with the Porsche. I'll wait. Give him a call. Oh, that's right. He's not there. So you're listening to somebody who is just talking shit, and it's a recipe for disaster. Pick wisely who you take advice from.
But you have a woman who's looking at her dead in her eye. She looking at her dead in her eye like, okay, and this sounds like a man with a plan. This sounds like a man who has things put together. This sounds like a man who is careful of his credit. This sounds like a man who is thinking into his future, to buying a house. Like she said, who don't have no car payment. This sounds like a man who is a leader in his own right, who's not trying to keep up with the Joneses. And the woman who dropped him did the right thing. Okay? She did the right thing. Because if she didn't drop him, she would have talked about him just how she did to her homegirl. She would have continued talking about him throughout the whole relationship. Oh, I can't stand being in that car. It's so embarrassing.
One thing that I missed in my last comment is something you do to test this woman in your life. You say, yes, honey, you're right. I do need a new car. And she's going to be like, oh, hot dog, I got him onto a new Corvette. I'm going to look so good rolling out of a Corvette. Oh my goodness, can't wait. And just turn around and just say, honey, I want to go get myself a Ford, Honda, or a Toyota. Let's go look at it this weekend and see which one we like the most. If she cringes, she gives you any grief, any pushback, you truly know what this is all about. Do yourself a favor and have her pack her shit, get out of your life. You deserve better. And it's time for us as men to stand up for ourselves and say, you know what? I drive my destiny. I control my finances. There are 8 eligible women from 18 to 80 that want me. Facts are what they are. There's a lot more of them than there are of us. Days of getting pushed around and being told that we're not good enough, that we're dusty or whatever, because we don't want to live a lifestyle that's not the one we want to live. If I want to drive a Ford F-150, good for me. And I will walk into my bank with my $200,000+ a year and have a great life. And you keep waiting till you get exactly what you want. And I hope you get it, even if it takes you 100 years. But I'm going to go down and find a woman that appreciates what I have to offer, and build a life.
She would have clowned him, tried to emasculate him, disrespect him, because she doesn't value him, again, because he is not living the life, quote unquote, right? That she deems as, you know, as a man, as a player, how he's supposed to step, how he's supposed to move. So she would have hurt that man, disrespected that, caused him way too much trauma for no reason. So she did the right thing. She packed up her little self and she got right out the way for somebody like this woman, like she said, that can understand the situation. Understand that you might not be exactly where you want to be yet. I don't understand why women have come up with this mentality that their man is supposed to be driving a Bentley truck. Okay, he's supposed to be a millionaire. He's supposed to have all the, like, just look at reality. Okay, look at the reality of life. I did a reaction video, speaking of this, I did the reaction video a couple days ago. And this woman that I did the reaction video on, who was speaking to women and telling women, you know, again, everybody's not average, and, you know, we all can have exactly what we want, and we can be with this person and be with that person, and yada, 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 free. Okay? That woman, I did the reaction video, and she actually did a reaction and said that I'm delusional. Okay? She said that I'm something wrong with me and my thought process.
Well, I will make a quick statement on what the other lady said, that you could just kind of manifest stuff. It doesn't work that way. Without goals and without a plan, you might as well just start buying lottery tickets. And that ain't financial advice. I mean, let's get real. That you could select a high value man out of the air, like, you know, picking a pear off a tree. No, that doesn't work that way. Most women will not take the time or have the patience for a Build-A-Bear. My wife did that 30 years ago. And we built a wonderful life together. And we are doing very well financially. That was not always the case. If I was Thanos and could snap my fingers and she never existed and I am at the same place I am today, there is absolutely no way that I would even consider half of the modern women that are out there today. Because everybody wants to wait at the finish line and, you know, and be like, let me hop into your life. And no. No. And then women get mad when high value men turn around and say, give me the Becky at PetSmart over the PhD who's been traumatized and has got an attitude and wants to fight about everything because she feels like she needs to be managed and handled. You know, you need to be able to handle me. No high value man wants to handle a woman. Been with my wife 30 years and never felt like I've had to handle her. We live together in peace and in a collaborative relationship that spanned over 30 years. We love and respect one another. And you also missing the boat because you think it's stuff first, then love. Relationship. character. And it's really all about character, and you build a life together. That's why you keep finding men that are dirtbags, because you're not prioritizing character. And when you start prioritizing character, you will find better men. It will take you longer because you women have lowered the bar so low that any Chad with a nice car and the right talk that's over 6 foot tall with a six pack can get in your pants. But the nice guy, in which I will do a video on why Henrys and high value men have to be nice guys, are boring to you. But guess what? Just like police work, marriage is just like police work. 80% of it is boring as shit, and you have 20% of excitement. And that comes to the form of vacations and holidays and babies being born and babies being baptized and going to Little League and just going through the journey of life. But the big bulk of it, it's kind of boring. You keep it interesting because you love each other and you treat each other with love and respect, and you keep the spark going between the two of you. But you can only do that if you both have character.
I thought about doing a reaction to her reaction. I was like, no, I don't got time for that. But there's women who actually believe that they are entitled, okay, to a certain type of man over and over again. Why? Because they said so. Like, because they said so. Because I said I deserve a man like this. So that's why I deserve a man like that. And that's what I'm going to have. And if he has a car that's old, that's not the man. So he needs to step aside and wait for me to get with my man who's going to have the things that I believe he's supposed to have. I said that's unrealistic. That woman said that it's my version of reality doesn't align with her version of reality, like crazy. And there are women, like this woman just said, right? I'm glad she told her friend off. Like, no, like he doesn't. So because his car year is not the same car year that you want, like you're tripping, you're bugging out. There's women who they think that they have the pick of the litter. And that's a whole different conversation. But there's a lot of women who believe that they are literally in control of who, they can pick, choose, and refuse men. Like, and the results don't say that, first of all. Second of all, there's a lot of women who are standing there and there are good men. Interestingly enough, when I said this in that video, this woman did not talk about the women who are letting good men pass them by. She had nothing to say about that. She just mad that I'm calling people delusional. Whatever. But there are men, this man he got probably the perfect credit, even if he's working on it. He has a car. He can pick you up. If something go wrong, he can come get you. He has a job. He's obviously respectful to this woman. He was all of these things. And you're going to let a materialistic object keep you from finding a good suited person. And again, a lot of these women going to go ahead and they're going to say, oh no, not me. I'm waiting for my king. I'm waiting for my this. I'm waiting for my man that has the bag. And I'm waiting for my man that has the coin. Okay. You know what happens? A lot of times they step back and that so-and-so called man ain't there. You know what he do? He hit it and quit it. The man that she is saying is the only man that she can settle down with, that she could be in a relationship with, that she want to, you know what happens? A lot of times those women end up with no man or a piece of man. They don't have a man of their own. Why? Because the men who valued you, you saw no value in them because they didn't have what these rappers have or what the other person have. And it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I love the fact that more and more and more, and a lot of people, like, when I used to have these conversations in the beginning, A lot of people tell me, even sometimes they tell me now, like, oh, you're wasting your breath and this and this and that. It's not true. I'm not wasting my breath, because over and over again, I see people, a lot of women, waking up to the foolishness. They hear the conversations, and at first they might be like, oh, no, y'all tripping or whatever. No, I don't know. Like, yeah, but I need my man to be able to do this. Like, they're on the fence. And then their homegirls will come to them and say some foolishness to them, and they'll be like, oh, this is what Riva is talking about. Oh, I get it now. Because the argument turns into, who said I want a man to begin with? Like the women who keep them bound, the women who keep them single. When I would say something like, this is the advice that keeps women single, they'll say, so who has a problem with being single? And then the women are like, oh, hold up now. I want a man. I want to be in a relationship. I want a husband. So y'all really are telling us stuff to keep us single because you're single. And you quote unquote happy single. Oh, absolutely not. Like, a lot of the women are like, absolutely not. And now what do we need to do to get it together? But I love that she said this. I love that she said this. And I'm telling you the truth right now. If that woman would have said that to me, I would have been like, you are a fool. You just said you wanted all of these things. You are tripping. How do you not know that this man was not in the process of upgrading his vehicle? Maybe he bought land. Maybe he bought properties. Maybe he was investing other things and he wanted to make sure that he had residual income to pay for the car that he actually wants. Instead of being around you with a car payment that he could barely afford just to impress you in it.
Riva's absolutely right on this one. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for visiting. Please like and subscribe and share this video.